Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. So for this review, we have another action figure that I have waited for a very long time. Actually, I ordered this figure last year at, of course, Big Bad Toy Store, and they just had this recently. So I immediately had this shipped. So I'm really satisfied with the presentation of the figure once I took it out of the box where it was shipped. So a box within a box, and we are now going to unbox. So this figure is the version 2 of Lion-O presented by Super7. So let's do a quick 360 of the box within the box. So I really like the presentation. The box that covers the figure is really premium. So if you're wondering where your hard-earned money goes, it's also in the packaging. So that's it. So let's take out the outer shield, and we are presented with the version 2 of Lion-O, or Lion-O 2.0. So let's do just a quick 360 and admire the packaging of this really premium item by Super7. So okay, so we're ready now to take all of the contents out and discover our purchase. Okay, so once taken out of the packaging material or the inner box, we are greeted with 2 trays. So the first tray is going to hold all of the figure, and the second tray would cover the rest of the accessories that could possibly not fit on the first tray. So we have several shields, and we also already have one that is attached to the waistline or the side of Lion-O. We have an alternate head sculpt, a extended sword, and as for the handsets, we have 2 additional handsets and the book of Omens. Before we discuss articulation points, let us first do a quick 360 of the figure. So we could at least take a look at the make a first impression of our premium purchase. So that's it. So now we are ready for discussing the points of articulation on this guy. So we have an alternate head sculpt, but basically just let's discover what the basic articulation points are with the figure that is fresh out of box. Ooh, actually this guy really smells good, just like fresh vanilla. So as for head articulation, we have ample head articulation actually. So how is the joints? Is it well hidden? So let's take a look at the back. So actually the joints are well hidden. These are dumbbell joints. So we have a ball joint for the head and one ball joint for the neck. But so far, really love the articulation on the head area. Really nice and smooth actually. And as for the detail on the head sculpt, that's it. And we have a really chinny lion. Oh, look at that chin. That is a really well pronounced chin. Okay, so let's move towards the abdomen or the body of this action figure. We have a cut on the waistline for rotation of the waistline. We also have ab crunch on this action figure. So how does that ab crunch translate from the side? So crunch backwards. And how are our crunches? Does it really expose parts of the action figure? So no. Let's take a look at the back. So for crunches on the back, no. So with regards to articulation of the body, it's a pass. We have rotation on the arms, we have sideways motion, and actually I really like the way this figure articulates out of the box. So we already have a standby hair dryer beside me just in case this figure really needs to be subjected to heat. But so far I've been articulating this figure beforehand for about 15 minutes, so it's okay actually. So we have a bicep cut for rotation or circular movement. This is the thing that only bugs me because it is a really quite pricey figure, and we have a single point of articulation for the elbow and a single point of articulation for the knee. Marvel Legends would give us pinless joints and dual points of articulation, but wow, Super7. Okay, so moving towards the leg area. So the thigh articulation for rotation would be actually hidden under the briefs over there. So the briefs actually are made of soft rubbery material, so it's okay to articulate the legs of this figure back and forth. So actually, yeah, you could see the articulation points peeking through the briefs of this action figure. So how articulated is that thigh? So okay, very good Super7 for that really articulated thigh cut. It is not your McFarlane thigh cut. As for raising that leg, well, it's going to stress out the briefs on this action figure, and as you could see, so somehow I ain't gonna do really wild poses with this action figure, just enough actually. So for below the knee, we have articulation on the boot, and we have a hinge for the foot and also a rocker. So we also have pegs, so just in case you want to put this figure on a stand, it is possible. So the hands, because this is the thing that I almost forgot to discuss, we have a hinge on the hands, and of course articulation or rotation movement, very basic since we have several handsets for this figure to interchange with. Depends on the thing that you want to hold this hold the accessory that you want to let this figure hold on to. That's what I mean. Okay, so as for articulation, in a rating of 10 articulation points, just this, and I give this about 7.5 because of the pin joints and just a single bend or articulation for that. So could have been better actually. They could have given us a better experience. Okay, moving towards the quality, just the base figure itself. So as for quality, this is where I could say that in a rating of 1 to 10, the quality on this figure with regards to detail is a 10. So the paint job alone, very clean lines, especially on the belt and the symbol on the belt. So it is nicely centered, and we have a evenly and centered painted cut on the belt. So good job, Super7. And we have those I think those are rivets or something on the belt, and they are painted gold. And as for the rest of the armor, the paint is really clean, especially on the edges, wherein the edges are a different shade of blue. And as for the boots area also, with the edge is a different color, not a different shade, but a different color. So if you inspect the borders, actually it's really nicely clean, even on the belt. Again, once again, returning to the belt and on the borders of the back armor, and we have a nicely sculpted back, and thank God we don't have any form of hole on the back, because if they're going to have a hole, I'm going to really complain with Super7. But with regards to the head sculpt, this is where I really admire this action figure. But oh wow, especially on the face, so the eyes are really nicely centered, and with regards to the paint, really nicely executed and done, especially on the hairline. So where the hair separates from the face, we don't have any overlays or smudges. So good job, Super7, on that. So let's take a look at the alternate head sculpt that comes with this figure. So with regards to the quality, the one that is attached to the actual action figure is good, but with this alternate head sculpt, it is also really good. The quality is there. So as for the paint, I'm looking at the edges of the hairline, if we have any overlays or smudges, really nicely done. And the paint, we have black brushing on the hair, and really nicely done. Actually, it is quite glossy too. There's some kind of gloss to the hair of Lion O when light touches it, because actually I have several bulbs on this review table, so the light really touches that hairline, and somehow I could really see it just beyond my camera, so it glows, really glows. So with regards to the paint on the teeth, that is also nicely done. We still see the fangs of Lion O, and even that expression. So really nicely done, Super7. So this is a close look at the book of Omens. So another accessory that I really like that they included. So if you take a look at the sides, you could see that we have some kind of markers for the different for the separate pages on the book. But actually, this accessory does not open or operate like a book. Actually, it's just one molded piece. But with regards to the quality, take a look at the Thundercats logo, that small Thundercats logo. So the paint is all very clean. The red and the black paint on the insignia actually is really nicely done, and especially the small boxes. So yeah, the silver. Okay, so with this accessory, I really can't find anything that I could complain about. So nicely done. So we have Lion O in this pose because we want to compare the shades or the color of the alternate handsets that this figure came with. So the two alternate handsets, I could say the color is really the same. So because sometimes manufacturers would give us alternate hands and the color of the hands is just not a match with the actual figure. So with this one, the color is the same, the size is just right. Actually, I already tried a set on this with this figure, and they are nicely in proportion. So let's move to the other accessories. Okay, so we have the rest of the accessories at hand. So we have the sword, the fully extended one, and the claw shield. So let's discuss first the claw shield. So we have actually two sets. So the first set of close shields would be the smooth one, or the version that we know of in the show. Now the first close shield that we have, the one that I'm holding on right now, would just have a peg inside. So this is actually works in conjunction with the extended sword. So if you want to display the Lion O figure with a fully extended sword and sporting the close shield, then this is the one that you use. But actually you don't have the capacity of fitting the other sword in a non-extended version. That is not possible with this shield. It is more for use when you are posing the figure this way. Now this shield is more for actual just putting this accessory on the side of the belt. So we don't have that capacity of Lion O wearing this on his forearm, so none of that matter. So this is more just for holding on to the non-extended sword. So actually it really fits it well. As you could see, the center, the eye is nicely centered on the groove of the shield, and we have a a gray peg for that. I just wish that they painted this gold too. Why a separate color? Anyway, so that's it. So this is for the first set of close shields, and actually it's the same with this other one, but the only difference would be, of course, this is going to be for the extended sword. So that's the combo, and we don't have any capacity to possibly, hey, we have a storage for this. So if you take out the non-extended sword, actually I think it's going to fit in there, but as you could see, it just doesn't go all the way. So actually it's a tight fit. So I guess that this too is just like this other one, that it is just meant to be used or worn with the extended sword, and this non-extended sword is really meant just for this shield. So just to store as a storage system for the unextended sword. So the version of this is this, but the difference is, it is the unextended sword is just a molded piece onto the whole shield. So you don't have the capacity of drawing that unextended sword. It is already just straight molded into the shield. So just for display purpose, this is going to be it that way. So which would you prefer, a furry one or a more traditional shield like this? I think I'm going to go with this pair. So let's get on with the swords right now. So this is the unextended version of the sword. So with regards to quality, does it look like the one that we see in the show? Actually yes, but with the how the eye is painted, actually a little bit more of gold paint would actually matter with this unextended sword, because the gold paint actually is really dull. So we need, I think we need a little bit of touch up on that eye. So but with regards to the rest, especially the handguard, I really like how it is painted. We have blue on the handguard and the rest. So as you could see, it is we have a really small handle, and as compared to the extended version, we have a really long handle over here. And the eye of Thundera, the Thundercat logo is nicely painted on this and nicely centered, and the extended version of the handguards, but we have a really thin sword blade, so, and a really soft rubbery one. So yeah, the first version, actually the Mati Collectors one, I have that in the Philippines, so I could really tell the difference between these two. But with regards to satisfaction, actually it gives the same experience so far. With regards to quality, this is also of good quality compared to the Mati Collectors. So, but yeah, I know that the one that I have in the Philippines, the blade is really nice and thick, so this is a really thin blade. But with regards to quality, it is there, because the Thundercat logo on the version that I had in the Philippines, the Thundercat logo is really not nicely painted. The one side is really atrociously painted compared to the other side. So I have one side that is really badly painted. But with this copy that I just recently got from Big Bad Toy Store, the paint job on this is nicely nice and clean. So I really can't complain on that. It's just the figure, I would have wanted an upgrade since this is a version 2.0. I would have wanted a dual pin joint system for the elbow for more articulation, and also dual point system for the knee for more articulation. And with the rest, as for the quality, it is actually really good. So depends if your budget would allow. Well, actually it's a good purchase. But for me, instead of getting the rest of the version 2 Thundercats by Super7, I think I'm not going to make any more purchases because of the price increases. So I'll just concentrate on the characters that I want to have on board. So for the Thundercats, instead of, I was contemplating whether to get the Mamra action figure. I withheld on that. So, and with the other cast members for the Thundercats, I think I won't be needing them anymore. I'll just want a Lion-O figure to represent the Thundercats in my collection, because with regards to price, I really can't justify the amount of dollar that I have to spend for each figure. Okay, so for size comparison and feel of the Super7 Lion-O compared to the other two action figures that we have on board. So we have my custom Masters of the Universe Revelations He-Man by Mattel. So I already exchanged the head sculpt with the Savage He-Man. So this He-Man action figure now sports the Savage He-Man head. So I somehow kind of like that head better with this He-Man figure. And we have recently the one that I just reviewed from the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder movie. So we have the Golden Thor, which I also customized. So with regards to feel and price point, so we have the we have a that $24 figure. We also have another from Marvel Legends $24 figure. This guys also has a price increase, so that's also the reason why I did not get the whole wave. I just concentrated on the primary figure, which is Thor. And between the Thor two Thor figures that were there in the wave, I only concentrated on this one because this is the most amusing one that I like. So yeah, we have now a point of comparison as to price ranges and quality. Now it's going to depend on you personally whether you're going to make a almost $70 purchase with this Super 7 action figure. But if you're really a die-hard Lion O or a Thundercat animated series fan, you just have to possibly, just like what I did, just get the central character and end your purchase there, so you won't be hurt much financially. So which quite justifies the purchase of this figure. Okay, so that's it. So possibly, well, of course it also depends on you personally, if you possibly have the extra cash around, or if you just want to save up on it, then it's also possible. But it's a great looking figure, but with regards to point of articulation, these two guys has better articulation points. These two guys. So yeah, we have Super 7 has to somehow improve on that matter. But with regards to quality and design, they really do good in that matter. But in articulation point and with regards to possibly size, if we have a really pricey figure, I expect that Lion O would have be a little bit taller or bigger, because somehow I'm looking at this figure right now, he seems kind of squat compared with these two guys. But if you just take these two guys out, there you go, you have a nicely proportioned Lion O figure. Okay, so if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go to the photos and the video shots.